Well, the gist of it is that my son had seen some kids going up the fire escape that adjoins the building, and that he yelled at them to come down or he was going to call the cops. They came down. He got into it with one of them, and then that was kind of the end of it. Later on, he and I were coming down 2nd Avenue. We made a right. We're coming down 97th Street. We made a right on 2nd Avenue, and we ran into not only these kids, but apparently their friends. There was a big argument that ensued, but interesting enough, 2 adults intervened and actually started the fight. The kids didn't start the fight. They were arguing. Then when the fight started, everybody got into the fight. And, it lasted for a while. And then at one point, when I finally had thrown this kid down, I turned around and I saw that Anthony was on his knee and bent over and clearly severely hurt. And fortunately, a neighbor of mine was coming down the street at the same time. We were able to take him home, call 911, get him to the hospital, and I think he's going to be fine.
Good afternoon. We're very sorry that my brother, Patterson, Governor Patterson, was attacked and assaulted last night. He presently is okay and will speak to you momentarily. His stepson was injured, was taken to a hospital. He seems to be okay. He's been given medical treatment. The police are on the case. They have some information, and they're working with that right now in order to solve this horrible situation that has happened.
Well, as Ronald Reagan said to his wife after he was shot in Washington, D.C., honey, I forgot to duck. We had an incident like that here last evening. My stepson, Anthony Sliwa, was walking his dog on the other side of this building when he saw 3 rather younger people climbing up the side of the building, which has been a way that people have been able to gain access to the building and to either vandalize or rob the building in the past. He admonished them that he was going to call the police. They came down. They had a kind of a brief argument, and that was the end of that. About 45 minutes later, Anthony and I were walking on this street, 97th Street. We walked down to the corner and turned right. As we come down near the McDonald's, the same 3 kids are there, but now it's a group of about 9 people. We have a big argument about whether or not they should be climbing up the building and whether or not it was our business. At which point, a woman who was clearly an adult, at least in her 30s, comes into the situation and confronts my stepson to the point where she's practically pushing him into the window at McDonald's and telling him whatever it was that she wanted to tell him, and telling him that he should never fight with anybody. But oddly enough, when the fight actually started, she threw the first punches in the actual fight, and another adult was the second person to throw punches. So this just wasn't an incident involving young people who were getting out of hand. This was an incident where adults who were competent enough to know the difference between right and wrong and how far to go in a situation like that were involved. So we got into a big fight. My stepson is martial arts trained, and he was holding off as many other people as he could, but then it became 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, and he was knocked to the ground and dazed by the experience. On the other hand, I got in a fight with some kid who I was able to throw to the ground at the end and come and get my son out of there. One of our neighbors was passing by. We were able to retreat and call 911. I don't think anything is dictated by one situation. This is New York City. I've lived here just about all of my life. I love this city. I've lived in all types of neighborhoods in this city. And this, as I saw, was an incident that started between young people who were having a fight and a difference of opinion to an adult-involved situation where there was no attempt to steal, no attempt to commit commit other types of crimes. Anthony had 5 stitches put in his lower lip. He has a number of bruises. He was pretty badly injured in the confrontation, and he's walking around, and I think more than anything, he is shell-shocked from the fact that the incident happened. Look, it's really a fortune that it wasn't worse than it is.
Is there any injuries you suffered? Were you treated for anything?
I got punched in the face a couple of times, and I got punched on the shoulder. But the person who punched me on the shoulder, I threw them against the McDonald's window myself.
So it didn't seem like Anthony had any prior, knowledge of them or anything.
No, when he saw the kids climbing up the fire escape, he said it's the first time he ever saw them.
How are you both doing mentally and emotionally?
Well, I think he's emotionally trying to work out exactly, how this happened. We just came around the corner. We saw them, and that prompted their screaming at us. A better course might have been to have turned around and come back this way. I think Mayor Adams is in the precarious position of having to run the largest city in the world, or one of the largest cities in the world, at a point that he is still under investigation and has already been indicted. And I think that that's a tremendous amount of work that's going to have to be done. But he seems to have assured people that he can actually do it. And also, Governor Hochul has made it clear that she's going to make sure that he's getting that work done. She does, from the charter and the public officers law, have the right to suspend him if she should feel that, and then he has 30 days to prove to the governor that he can continue to lead the city. But at least I don't think that it's headed in that direction right now. They don't live in the building. No one had ever seen them before. If robbery was the motive, I don't know how they were going to get in the building after they climbed to the top of the fire escape. Was it perhaps mischievous? Maybe. But when they were confronted with the idea that they were on the fire escape and they're not only a danger to other people but a danger to themselves, they didn't seem to care about it. And that's, you can try to explain away anything, but I don't know how you explain why 3 kids were going up the fire escape. And I really feel that the New York City police are going to find out who these people are and are going to make sure that the justice system addresses them.